Hey Libra, the plan is to just shuffle my cards and see what message wants to come out. Okay, we start with the Page of Cups. This is interesting. I keep getting the Page of Cups in my own readings. In fact, I got yesterday when I did a reading, I got, I'm a Virgo by the way. I got the Page of Cups and then it was clarified by the Page of Cups. And then I had a situation where someone mentioned being in a fishbowl, and it was a phrase that had a meaning behind it, but I did not know what that meant. I mean, I got the gist of what they were saying by context clues, but I don't remember it having the meaning that, I don't remember their meaning being the meaning Google gives the phrase, because I looked it up. I came home and looked it up. And it basically means, well, it has three different ones, but the one that stood out to me the most, because it was what I was feeling at the moment. By the way, this was a second reading of mine, separate from the one that had the Page of Cups, clarified by the Page of Cups. Okay, it was a separate reading, and the Page of Cups came out again. And so then that phrase popped up into my head again, and all of this happened within a 24-hour period. So anyways, when I Googled the phrase, I think it was like living in a fishbowl or something like that, the first and most prominent meaning for me, or relevant meaning rather, was that it's like being seen, being watched. So I guess sort of like being spied on. And this, I guess I should show you the card. This cat is looking at a fish in a fishbowl, and I mean, it's obviously being watched. It's being, what's the word I'm looking for? Stalked. Not that you're being stalked, okay? I'm not suggesting that at all. And neither was I. Neither am I. However, there's a situation in my life that might be a similar one for you, with this card, in that I had a feeling yesterday of being scrutinized. I think that's the best word for it. Not necessarily spied upon or watched, or, I mean, I guess it's still a sense of being watched. And I wouldn't say judged is the right word either, but definitely scrutinized. And when I pulled this card out, I mean, that's obviously the first meaning I'm going to come to right now, because I guess maybe that's what my mind is on, but it does feel right. It feels right for your reading. So now I can't, however, with that said, I can't decide yet whether you're the cat or you are the fish. I can't decide if you're scrutinizing or if you're being scrutinized. So no, there's a window here, and I don't know if that's got something to do with it yet. I'm not feeling anything on it yet, but it is standing out a little. It sort of feels like being not blocked. Let's see. Yeah, let's say blocked off from, I don't know if it's a collective or a feeling of being blocked off by the world, or it's a beautiful day outside on this card. I'm not going to take that though. I'm not going to take that interpretation right now, because right now I'm feeling very hyper focused on the scrutiny. So I'm going to take another card, see if we can get more information. Something just flips. Let's see. Seven of Cups in reverse. Typically this is options, lots of options, you know, and then therefore a decision needing to be made. It's in the reverse though. Maybe you're scrutinizing your options, trying to determine which one's best for you. I'll show you this card. Maybe you have a decision to be made, something you're thinking about, weighing the pros and cons of each, perhaps. There's a fish in the cup up here also. Let's just keep going. I'm being drawn towards the clouds in both of these cards, but to be fair, like almost all of these cards have clouds in them. Okay, that one flew out. So we got Temperance. Huh. This is like the balance, right? The weighing of the pros and cons even. That's not what this card is, but that's what I got as soon as it flipped over. And well, it is a card of balance. It's also a card of moderation and, you know, temperance. Tempering, it could be tempering your, some emotions, because we do have the cups here. However, my eyes are drawn to the difference in this cat's eyes. And so I feel like this is emphasizing the difference between your options. Whatever these options are that you're scrutinizing, I think that's what this is. I think there's a decision to be made that you're thinking very thoroughly about. It could be an emotional decision. I don't know if it's implying to include your emotions in this decision making or take them out, or that you are doing one of those. This is a lot of water. We have Page of Cups, Seven of Cups, and Temperance. And while Temperance, I don't know the zodiac sign associated with the Temperance, I do know that she has her foot, she's dipping her foot in the water. And that is a signal to intuition. Water is intuition, and you know, the subconscious. And so perhaps, excuse my dog in the background snoring. Perhaps this is also an intuitive decision. Something that you need to maybe take. I feel so emotional though, but it could be something that you need to take the logic out of it. Honestly, it's possible that you there's too much thinking, right? And there needs to be more feeling, and that could be intuitive or emotional, right? And then we have the Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And the only reason I'm pointing this out right now, which normally I would wait until there's no more cards ready to come out or wanting to come out, but I'm mentioning this now because as I was shuffling off camera, this popped out. And I'll show this to you. So the Five of Cups is typically a card of disappointment, not in the sense of like being left out in the cold like the Five of Pentacles, but more of like experiencing disappointment, but not paying attention. I don't want to say paying attention to. Let's see. Let me think how to phrase this. Ignoring. Okay. I mean, that's the same thing, right? It's like experiencing disappointment, but ignoring what is still good in life, right? So you see the three cups over here that have been knocked down. In fact, this cat is knocking one of them down themselves. So it's almost like self-sabotage. Actually, it is. That's the best word for this. Self-sabotage. I think that's why I was struggling so hard, is because I was looking for the right word. And I think that's it. This is a card of self-sabotage. So we see this cat knocking down this cup, along with two other cups. And so I think it implies that this cat has knocked the other two down as well. I mean, it's possible that they just fell. And you know how cats are curious. They want to see what happens when they make something happen, right? And so it's like maybe the two cups fell and then the cat's like, okay, well, let me knock over this other one. Neither here nor there. It doesn't matter whether someone else has knocked these cups down or if it's you. But the point is that this cat is knocking down one of these cups, indicating self-sabotage. And then it's got these two behind it that it's like completely ignoring. I sort of wonder though, because the face on this cat is mischievous. And so I almost wonder if, given the opportunity, would this cat also knock down the two cups that are behind it? And so I almost feel like this is a warning. I'm going to leave this here. I almost feel like this is a warning. You don't have to take it as a warning. I don't know what you're here for, but I feel like there's... Oh man, have you made some options and now another one is in front of you? Perhaps you've sabotaged these options in the past, these ones that you've made, these decisions you've made, maybe you've sabotaged. And maybe it feels like this is a warning to not make that same mistake with these new options right here. Or new decisions. Wow. Okay. Let's see if I can get another card. I just shuffled the whole deck and I'm not getting another card. And because of that Five of Cups, especially that it came out in a pre-shuffle, I wonder if that was your advice. So I'm going to take that as your advice. This is a pretty short reading, I think, which is actually a good thing. I know typically people like shorter readings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clarify the Five of Cups, and then I'll get you... an oracle card. Two cards came out for you, the Sun in reverse and the Nine of Fire. Okay, so just right off the bat, the first thing that comes to mind with the Sun in reverse, a lot of people say the Sun is the happiest card in the deck. I mean, they also say it about the Ten of Cups, and but if we're going to go with that meaning for the Sun here in the reverse, it would be, you know, some sort of disappointment maybe, or well, let's just go with disappointment because that's the first word that popped in my head, and it was clarifying the Five of Cups. So I think that's just for the Sun here in reverse. I think we're just doubling down on maybe that. I hate using the word warning because it sounds dire. I don't think it's that intense, and maybe it is for some of you, but I think we're doubling down on that warning, right? Perhaps, you know, hoping to avoid this disappointment. Okay, and with the Nine of Fire, my first... Typically with the Nine of Fire, I get a... past self, future self feeling, and I'm not going to go into the details of why. I guess I could. It's because there's two people here, and I feel like this here is a child and this is the same person as an adult. Anyways, that's not what I feel today. Today, my eyes immediately were drawn to this tiny little balloon up in the air here, and this little girl down here has lost this balloon. And so, paired with the Five of Cups and the Sun in reverse, immediately I want to say this is implying some sort of loss. It could be it could be an emotional loss. Like maybe whatever this decision here in your past that you made, decisions, maybe didn't lead you down a path of emotional fulfillment. And I'm just going to add that this is not the typical meaning for the Nine of Fire. It's just, if I'm reading this intuitively, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Although I did get, during the pre-shuffle, again, I also got the Nine of Fire in this deck here. It's the Nine of Wands. Sorry, let me see if I can find it. My stomach's growling. It's very early here. I haven't eaten. Was it the Nine of Wands? It might have been the Eight of Wands. But if we pull out the Eight of Wands, we can see that that's a progression. No, it was a 7. I'm so sorry. So we got the 7. So perhaps we skipped the 8. 7 is it was in reverse also, the 7 of Wands. So it's like a in the upright, it's a victory, a celebration of victory. Let me show you the 8. I should have done that also. Pulled out the 8. I thought this was going to be a short reading, but I am wasting a lot of time here, and I'm sorry. I don't think it's a waste, though. I'm trying to make a point. Okay, and this is our Eight of Wands. And so this is like a card of putting up boundaries, holding your boundaries. And so if we go from the 7, if it's in the upright, it would be a celebration of a victory. But in the reverse, well, it could be the opposite of that. It could be something didn't go as planned. So something didn't go as planned, and because of that, we move on to the 8, right? Where we put up boundaries, we put up a wall, and I want to say an emotional wall because of all this, the cups in your reading. And then we come to the 9, which is what we have here. And this is, the 9 is like, man, it's a, so that victory we saw was a battle, right? It was, in the original depiction, the Rider-Waite deck, it's clearly a victory in a battle, right? Here, in the 9, it's a battle hard won. I guess I could show you that too. Goodness gracious. The guy in this deck, well, and I think in all of them, he's like got a bandage on his head. And this one, his eye is wounded. And so it's like he won the battle, right? And so I want to say with that progression, because it just came to mind when I was looking at this Nine of Fire, I feel like perhaps there was something that didn't quite go as planned, that you didn't quite succeed at. Maybe it wasn't emotionally fulfilling. Maybe you self-sabotaged in some way. And perhaps pick yourself back up. But put up a wall, an emotional wall, a wall between you and others, not allowing anyone in, so that you can maybe recover. And then this Nine of Fire, as you recovered, it's like you did win that battle. You made it to the finish line, and this is you recovered. And if we, if you move on to the 10, it would be, the 10s are endings, and it would be like a laying down of the burden that all of this has caused. And so the 10 is next. It's what comes obviously after the 9. And I think that's where you're headed. I think, there's just, after the 9, there's just a little farther to go until you reach the end. I already shuffled these. So this is the Between Worlds Oracle deck. I like it because it ties everything in really nicely, and they're short and sweet messages. So we got humility in the reverse. Be humble. I have to find it in my table of contents. One moment. Humility. Where are you? 97. Okay, it says humility. I'm going to show this to you. The farther you go, the less you know. That's from the Tao Te Ching, verse 47. Water supports all life, but asks for no reward. Again, water is the emotional, intuitive realm. It stays grounded, low to the earth, and curious about every unexplored crevice, but water moves powerfully nonetheless. How freeing to say, I don't know, or I'm sorry. I need your help. I have so much to learn. I think this is where the boundaries need to come down. And I think that's part of the temperance too. Showing humility. Okay. I think that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. And I hope to see you next time. Bye, Libra.